Gonna change the world with
My hockey stick. Oh yeah.
Gonna make a real difference.
Feed the poor and heal the sick.
You've been warming up your vocals all morning, Jer?
No, I felt I was a little off today, but then I kind of hit one note. I think I hit one note. No, that's good.
You were on key, I think.
Thank you.
There's fluff all over my microphone right now.
Didn't let my cat up here, so I don't know.
It's just maybe it's the years of dust that have collected in this loft.
You were vacuuming yesterday.
Oh, so I'm responsible for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about changing the world. Since it's just me and you.
A light topic.
Since it's just me and you on the pod today.
Yeah.
I was thinking we got to do something. I always focus on sort of more the training stuff in the summertime because I tend to have a little less demand on like the viral.
We might make a
YouTube
really good
videos.
video in the summer, and it'll get 25,000 views in the first week,
Yeah.
and then a year later, it has 300,000. But it was mostly from the winter.
Yes, there's just a little less demand for hockey content in this summer. So that's when I'm like, all right, let's just do some fun, interesting passion projects.
Yeah.
Things that, people aren't, where's the next video? Where's the next video? Where's the next video?
Well, that's when I started the 10,000 shots app for you. Was a summer.
Exactly.
one
Summer
year.
projects
Yeah.
and that 10,000 apps. That's what I'm looking for. Is like that evergreen
Mm-hmm.
type stuff. So we did the 10,000 shots app. Was it 2 summers ago? Or was it
It's
last?
got to be. Yeah.
I think
It was
two
two
years now.
summers ago. I
Yeah,
started it.
It's going strong, and that's something like giving back to the community. Could we have put ads on it? Yeah, we could have put ads on it. Could we have done paid content and all that? Yeah, we could. But you know what? Let's just make an app. Let's see if people like it. Let's just help hockey players.
Then we'll add the ads later.
Yeah, and then once we get them in there, then we'll gouge them for everything they've got. No, we still haven't charged anything for it. It's still free, and but I love doing stuff like that, like just giving back to the hockey community. So that's what I'm trying to think of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sit down for a day, and we should come up with some strategy for the summertime so we can really do something important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It has an impact.
Yeah, let's have an impact this summer.
Yeah.
Let's plan. Let's think, strategize, and then it just makes us more efficient.
Yeah. We've been brainstorming some ideas for that.
Yeah, we've been bouncing some ideas back and forth.
This is private
Private info.
insider info. We won't be revealing all of it, but
Well, what I was saying is that there's not, besides Howie's hockey tape, I love Howie's, but all the big companies are just kind of like corporate.
mm-hmm.
I would love if there's a more fun, community-based hockey brand that's in touch. Like hockey players and hockey parents are like running the company type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of companies like that anymore. So that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. Like, let's sell something.
Right.
Let's sell something.
Let's sell something.
Let's sell something.
This guy's a genius.
Thank you.
We gotta do. That's all we gotta do is sell something.
Let's sell something, but then create content that's fun, that's community based, that get user generated content, gets the kids involved, gets the parents involved.
Mhm.
Just a fun hockey company, but yeah, not be like super corporate and elite. Like
Yeah, I
you know what
think
mean?
that we were talking about this the difference between targeting the vibes and targeting the best of the best.
Yeah,
Like Bauer, CCM, True, they're all trying to create the top end best
Yeah.
product for the people that want to be the best.
yes,
And that starts at a very young age now, is the parents want their kids to be the best always.
yeah,
And that's where the most money's at, but it's not necessarily where the most vibes are.
you know what? And no, and it's a lot of fun being the best. It's fun to be the best. Let's focus on the fun. But it's also fun if you're just playing house league hockey.
Yeah,
Hockey's still fun no matter what.
you can be the best vibes guy in
True.
the room. You can be the best player on a house league team
hmm
and still have fun playing hockey.
Yeah. So
You could be the worst player on a team and still have fun.
it's not as fun
Yeah, no, don't do that.
though.
Usually the guys who are the worst don't realize they are, though.
No.
And if they do, it's kind of just sad because then they've admitted defeat.
It's not so bad if you're the worst player on like a house league team, because then it's like, you know what? It's not too serious.
Right.
If you're the worst player on a AAA team by a long shot, then you start getting the team kind of turning against you. And
So here's where that's an interesting that you say that, because where does that translate once you become an adult? How does that translate? Like men's league.
If you're on a men's league team, then if you're the worst player, as long as you're cool and fun, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but then like the guys that are like showing up, they're trying to win every night.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be taking your
But,
men's
like,
league too seriously.
Even if you're not taking it too seriously, it is kind of a bummer if you've got a guy on your team who's just like dragging his feet. And like maybe he's a vibes guy, but like you just have no chance to win when he's on the ice.
It depends on which type of league you're in. I think that's the biggest thing, because when I played up in Huntsville, we had a pretty good squad, and we had one guy that was like newer to hockey, not very good, and halfway through the season, it was just our mission to get this guy a goal. Every time he shot the puck, we were cheering,
fun, yeah.
right? Like we were winning the one game like 7-1, and we're like, all right, let's get Mark a goal, right? So everyone's giving the puck to Mark, tell him go to the net, stick on the ice type of stuff, and eventually he bangs one in, and to make it 8-1 or something, right? And then the whole bench just erupts. They start cheering. Right? And the other team's like, what the heck? You celebrate that hard for like your 8th goal? Right? But it was just, we finally.
The other team should know.
Well, fair. Yeah.
Like if I see a team and they're trying to get a guy a goal, that's why they're cheering. You're not trying to run up the score. Yeah, it's finally 8-1, just like the Oilers.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess, there's a bit of a, it depends type factor there.
Yeah.
But you don't want too many bad players on your team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the vibes only go so far.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so we might be releasing a product. Might be releasing
news to me.
Well, I used to work with Hockey Shot, and I gave them so many product ideas, and they developed about half of them.
Yeah,
and
fair.
Sometimes it would take them like 3 years.
Yeah, and then they'd be like, "We came up with this brand new idea that you told them 3 years ago."
No, I'd be on them. I'd be like hounding them, like, you have to release this. So they knew where the ideas were coming from.
Yeah.
The problem is they went under, and then Bauer just copied all their products. Now Bauer is selling products that I invented.
Right.
Which sucks.
Because they didn't patent any of them.
No, it doesn't even matter. There are patents. I know which products do have patents and which ones don't.
But you need to have the money to
and
go after
someone has to reinforce it, right?
Yeah.
So they're not really going after it. Bauer is selling products that X Hockey, which is a different training product company, has patents on as well.
Yeah.
And
when it's a hockey niche,
no one's going after Bauer.
Yeah.
They're just going to crush you in the court. Because bleed you dry.
Yeah, because
right?
they're the only there's only so many like maybe if it was a CCM product, they could battle over it.
So I've got ideas. I've got one idea that I think is really simple. It's so easy to copy. So I want to get the product made and then literally just call out like, oh, let's see what company will be the first one to copy this to rip me off. Right. So then like the
social aspect of
the
it.
community is in on it. And then if like Bauer comes out, then I'll be like, oh, shock, right? And then go at him. Like, hey, like, where's my royalties? Where's my and it's like, I don't know. The idea is not really patentable. It's
but you can coin it first as like the first to spread the idea. Yeah.
So that's the thing. I helped Hockey Shot. They were releasing a puck that I discovered in Europe. It was in Sweden. The guy came to me actually, and I hooked them up with this guy. I was like, this guy made this really cool puck. It was the puck with a ball bearing in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why don't you negotiate and get distribution in North America? So you're the only person that can sell it in North America, and get like a 2-year term and call it the dangle puck.
Right.
And then you can patent the word dangle puck. And after 2 years, everybody will call it the dangle puck. So if anyone searches on Google for dangle puck, it'll go to your thing. Like, so you don't own the product, but you own the name and basically like the
branding of it.
Brand of it.
Yeah.
So
it's like everyone calls tissues here Kleenex.
Kleenex, yeah.
But they're tissues.
Yes.
Yeah. Like that's a good example I can think of.
Yeah. So there is that I'll do. Like I have an idea for the term, and I'll patent that term so everyone calls them that. Maybe become hopefully
you could copyright a term. You can't patent.
Yeah, sorry, copyright.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah, that's fair.
That's an idea I have coming up.
That's fun.
Let's talk the Leafs.
Leafs. I thought we were going to talk actually
playoffs
that are in the finals right now.
You want to talk about what's going on in hockey this year? We will talk about the Leafs later. Talk about Marner. Talk about the salary cap.
Yeah, salary cap went up. We should talk about that. What we think the Leafs should do with it. We could probably talk about what every team should do with it.
Oh,
Get better players.
let's go down the entire list. No, we'll start with playoffs.
We probably got fans from every team. At least one fan from every team. Comment down below. What's your team? Who's your team?
Oh yeah,
We are currently
Ooh,
Utah fans. But
yes,
I'm
we're
just-
huge Utah fans. What team do you cheer for? And because the salary cap went up, I think $5.5 million. What should your team do with that 5.5 mil?
Ooh, yeah, even better. That's some homework for you. We're giving you
Let us know.
things to do in the comment section. It's due 10 minutes after this episode comes out because we are 10 minutes into the podcast and you need to comment it right now.
There you go.
I know, but Edmonton avoids the sweep
Oh,
in arguably the most glorious fashion you could avoid a sweep in sweeping them in a game, like barn burner. Only one goal against.
Blew them out of the water. Did you think Panthers were going to sweep?
No. I said,
Really?
well, on the last episode, I said,
It could be a Panther sweep.
I think that I thought that the Panthers were going to lose game 3
oh yeah.
and then win game 4 and come
Yes.
out with a split. But it ended up being the opposite. But like my brain was telling me it's going to be a split. They're going to come back to Florida.
They were dominant in their first 3 games. So the fact that the Oilers finally woke up was refreshing because they're making me look like an idiot on social media. They really are. I put out a video why the Oilers are going to win the Stanley Cup because McDavid is going to be hungry. He's going to be a beast. You're going to see a player you've never seen before.
Which arguably you have, but
Right. You've got the top 4 point getters in the league on one team, right? It was Draisaitl, McDavid, Bouchard, the defenseman, and Nugent Hopkins and Hyman not far behind. 1, 2, 3, and 4 in points. Like, how are you going to shut that down? But they did. I can't believe it. What, they have like 3 goals in 4 games? Or no, 3. There's like four goals in 3 games, I think.
for the first 3 games, yeah, it was something crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But in the
How did
of the past 11 goals, the Oilers have 10 of them.
that's the thing. And then, so I think they had like 3 goals in 3 games. Did they get shut out the first game?
No, I don't think they were shut out in any game.
In any game. Okay, so I think it was, 4 goals in 3 games. Or
Yeah.
something, which is very low. Bobrovsky's crazy. And then they get 8 in 1 game. 8 in 1 game.
Yeah, it looked to me like the Panthers just that's what happens, right? You have the chance to sweep for the cup fund. Like the Stanley Cup is in the building. All the media has been talking about how when the cup's in the building, so are like all of their friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
So the team flew out something like 150 people to Edmonton to be in the building in case they have the cup.
Yeah.
You know, so like to win on home ice for Edmonton in such a fashion when the cup's in the building, all their friends and family are there, and they just absolutely stomp them.
Yeah.
That's a power move right there.
The question everybody wants to know, will the Oilers do the reverse sweep? Will they come back? It's only been done, I think, once.
No.
Yeah. The last time it's been done was 1942.
It's
Basically, nobody ever comes back down 3.
yeah. Well,
No.
the same thing happened to Vegas when
Yeah.
they won last year, right? They went up 3-0, didn't they, to Florida, and then won in game 5 or game 6, one or the other.
If it was Leafs versus Oilers and the Leafs were up 3-0, I would say yes, the Oilers are going to come back because Leafs have a way of just messing everything up.
Right.
But that won't happen.
I just don't see it happening. As much as like it's funny because I tend to root for the underdog in any situation,
Yeah.
and even though Edmonton was considered a slight underdog going into the finals, that's what everyone was saying, right? Like Florida's the clear favorite, and the only wild card is McDavid. But everyone had Florida to win the series. I was cheering for Edmonton because they're the underdog, and now that they have the possibility to come back and do the reverse sweep. It's like I can't help but root for them. It's got nothing to do with the fact that it's a Canadian team, though.
Yeah.
If it was the reverse and Edmonton was up 3-1 in Florida, I'd be rooting for Florida.
I would love...
Just because I want to see more hockey.
Right. I would love to see the Oilers come back and win the cup because it would perfectly match their regular season performance.
Yeah, they blow like 3 or like 10 games straight and then go back and win 8 straight.
Well,
you know?
they looked like they were competing for the first overall draft pick.
Yeah.
They were near the bottom at one point, and
Yeah.
then switch coaches, and I saw a stat on the TV. Every time
telly.
on the telly, I saw a stat on the telly. Every time they lost 3 games in a row, they went on a crazy run after. So in the regular season, there was 3 times when they went 0-3.
Yeah.
And then they had a 5-0 run, an 8-0 run, and a 12-0 run.
Whew. So they're. Oh, I did see that too.
Right?
It was like Oilers after losing 3 straight.
Yes,
And it was like 5 in a row, 8 in a row, and 12 in a row.
Let me check. I got this.
I thought 8 in a row was the highest they did.
Okay, maybe.
But like still, it's like they go on a winning streak.
Dude. 8-0 in November. They went 8-0 after losing 3 straight games. Then they lost 3 straight in December. Went on a 16-0-0 record.
Woo.
And then in February they lost 3 in a row. And then they went on a 5-0-0 record.
All regulation wins too.
Yes, 8-0-0, 16-0.
A lot of time when you go like to go 16-0 without going to overtime at all that's even
crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's under Knobloch. That's under their current coach. So, bold strategy, Edmonton. Lose the first 3 so you can go on a crazy run.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Well,
Little dodgeball reference.
They also have never beat the Panthers. They did not beat them in regular season, and they did not beat them.
That's kind of damning. A bit
Right?
more than.
So they had 5 losses, I think, against the Panthers.
They got the monkey off their back. They won 1.
Finally got a victory.
They figured him out. That's what all the Edmonton fans are saying right now. They figured him out.
Now,
Bobrovsky's crap now.
if they had a squeaked out a win, like 3-2, a little bit of a comeback or something, then I'd say, there's no chance that they're gonna do it again. It's like they got lucky this game. 8 goals though. McDavid finally woke up. Draisaitl finally woke up. They started with the depth scoring. It was Fogle and Holloway.
Holloway got one.
Yeah.
Janmark got. I thought he got 2, but it was just 1.
Yeah.
Adam Henrique got one of the first
yeah.
4 as well, and it was all the depth scoring to start out,
and
then Nurse got one later on,
and then it was McDavid and Draisaitl and Hyman and getting points. I think McDavid had a 4-point night or something like that.
Yeah, he broke Gretzky's record.
Ooh, that's crazy.
For assists.
That's crazy.
You know what I heard, which is even more crazy than that?
That the goalies can do the butterfly now?
Yeah. No, the Tampa Bay Lightning run. This episode is brought to you by Muskoka Brewery. Tread lightly, one of the best light beers you can get, crafted in the heart of Muskoka.
I always have Tread Lightly and Hazed and Confused in the fridge. Either I'm going to be having it or when the boys come over, right? I always got it on supply. I spare no expense. And actually, something that they just did, Muskoka Brewery.
Mm-hmm.
So this used to be a premium beer.
It still is, arguably.
It's still a premium beer, but without the same premium price.
Ooh.
Yes. So they've dropped the price on the 24-pack.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you want to have a better tasting beer, you grab the Tread Lightly.
And support local.
So if you want the light lager and you're usually reaching for the other guys, grab the Tread Lightly. Trust me, it's a tasty beer.
And it's available in a new extra tall can.
Oh, they got the big boys.
They got every size you could ask for.
Yeah.
Go grab them from the local LCBO, beer store, grocery stores, or from Muskoka Brewery online.
Or go straight to the brewery if you're in the Muskoka area.
Yeah, there you go. That's even
Swing
better.
by, make a day of it. Grab yourself a case.
All right, big thanks to Muskoka Brewery for sponsoring the pod. Let's get back to the episode. The year that they got eliminated in the 3rd round, like in the conference final. They didn't even make it to the final. I think Braden Point was only 1 point shy of Gretzky's record.
Oh, man.
And they didn't even make the cup final. So,
played far fewer games, right?
Yeah, but to think that's one thing. Point was hot for the entire round, whereas McDavid, it's like he's been getting points. He hasn't been scoring a ton, but he's only really been turning it up as the playoffs have gone on. You know? Like he's been getting better and better as each game happens.
Yep.
And he's been dragging the Oilers with him. Is what I've felt, at least.
Do you think the Panthers lost on purpose so they could win the cup at home?
Paul Maurice said so. So yeah, I believe it.
No, did he say that?
He's like, well, we came here to get a split, and that's exactly what we did.
No way, he said.
Yeah, he did.
Are you no, I'll take your word for it. That's
I'm
crazy.
Yeah, it was like all over the
That's
media.
hilarious.
Yeah.
He's got to be just joking, but that's great.
Oh, he's my new favorite coach.
Yeah, that's great.
Like for a while there, like earlier on in the year, or maybe it was last year, it was Daryl Sutter.
Oh yeah,
because he
very
just
candid.
had like the best quotes.
Yeah.
But Paul Maurice, man, he's like the ultimate troll. And
yeah.
like it works when your team is like dominating and winning. Like
Yeah.
you can be that kind of quippy, joking around, like you're almost being sassy, and it works when you're winning. But if you're losing, it just looks like you're just sour, you know.
He had another great point, or a good quote. I think he was talking about when he came in as head coach, and he said something like, "Well, I took him from the President's Trophy winners to 96 points, just barely making the playoffs. So that was nice." Something like that, right?
Yeah.
When he took them
Like
over.
he's not, but it's smart. Like he's a player's coach.
Yeah.
Like he's the ultimate player's coach because he doesn't make it about himself ever. Like good coaches never do.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot that never do. But like he's like, I'm just along for the ride.
Mm.
All I have to do is enable these guys. They have everything they need to do it.
Yep. It's a team sport, right?
And like that's one thing that I like. As much as I like Sheldon Keefe, he never like he would take the bullet for the team, but never in that way. You know, he's never like he never had an unwavering sense of belief. He'd just be like, no, I don't put that on them. Like I have to prepare better.
Right.
You know, but like that's different than saying like they have all the tools they need. I believe in this group.
Yeah.
They did not. They're going through the journey. You know,
Well,
like they're figuring it out.
It's cool to have a bit of humor along with
Yeah,
it
like
as
you
well.
gotta
right?
you
Like,
gotta have some swagger.
cracking some jokes
Yeah.
here.
Like I
Self-deprecating.
want Paul Maurice to come back and coach the Leafs. Imagine instead of Berube
instead of Berube.
or like, just for the vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Berube is the new guy, so hopefully he changes something up. Speaking of changing something up, I am just so sick of, and I don't want to say Toronto media. It's the sub Toronto media. Everything else.
Before we get into Toronto, I want to firm up one more thing with the
Sure.
Cup final.
Firm me up, Hayden.
Okay, then who do you think is gonna be the Conn Smythe winner?
Oh,
Because all the media was saying Bobrovsky, and I was like, when's the last time a goalie won the Conn Smythe?
not often, no.
Yeah, and like,
But he is the favorite. I checked the odds.
yeah, but that's because it was just so overhyped by the media. In my mind, it was never gonna be a goalie.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't because there's always gonna be one game where it puts doubt in people's mind, and there's already that game that happened where he let in 6 goals and got pulled.
Yes. I would love to see Barkov because he is a real classy, like captain's player type of guy. You know?
Yeah, he's been elite as well.
But they got to win the cup, right? If Edmonton comes back and wins, it's McDavid. 100%.
There's an argument to be made that it should be McDavid either way.
Yeah, because he's just
Like he's the
So
best.
many
He's
assists.
the most valuable player in the playoffs.
fair.
Like that you can make that argument. But I actually in May I put a bet down $1.45 because that was what I had in my account. I put in like $10 and that's what I had left.
Yeah.
Because I like to make like dollar bets or $2 bets here and there. I put $1.45 on Barkov to be the Conn Smythe winner.
Yep.
I think the other one was McKinnon, and that didn't turn out.
Mm.
But I did two. I think I put
Your-
$2 on
your
McKinnon,
picks-
$2 on Barkov.
Your pick are better than mine. I picked Matthews. So
Oh,
we all know what happened there. Ooh.
Leaf fan, too much bias.
I just thought if this was their year,
You wanted to be on the train.
well, Matthews is scoring goal after goal after goal.
I honor your honorability for betting on the Leafs as a Leafs fan.
Oh, I know.
You ride the highs and ride the lows as well. You don't try to hedge your own emotions like I do. But yeah, I have Barkov, and I think the odds was like 26-1 or something on that. So I'm gonna make $37 if he becomes. So I'm a bit biased there. I'm gonna get myself probably 1.5 trips to Subway. That's my.
No,
treat.
I got to take that, invest it. In 63 years, it'll be worth $49.
Yeah, and then I can take that and invest it in
Compounding
something else,
interest
and then maybe I can be a part owner of the Panthers.
in 3,039.
Yeah. my children's children's children.
Nah. There'll be a global apocalypse by then, and currency
Oof.
will have no value, and everybody will just be trading potatoes and
Don't talk about
and
that.
sheep. No?
If we're even still around. Anyway,
I was just having this discussion.
back to the Leafs.
We need Chippy around for this conversation.
We can't go a deep dive on
can't go to global
humanity
apocalypse.
and global apocalypse. If Shannon listens to this, she's gonna have a meltdown.
Anxiety?
Shannon, shut it off. Shannon, stop listening.
Do you think about global apocalypses often?
Not apocalypses, but I think about the
Like a
minute detail, the minute speck in reality that we are.
like a fallen society. You don't think about a fallen society or anything?
Only if I'm watching a show about it,
Because do you think there ever would be? Because like the Roman, like every
like The
big-
Purge.
I feel that movie could have been way better, and then they remade it a few times. No, I just like every empire has kind of risen and fallen. Would it happen in today's?
Well, it's not really a empire. That's the thing.
Right.
It's been. I would actually be interested to study this because it's kind of an interesting topic when you talk about like society as a whole and like the different structures that are followed and democracy and versus communism and all this stuff.
I think that in today's world, it's so connected now that it just can't happen. In the past, things were isolated, so if something happens, it can kind of get out of control, and then there could be a fall.
Mhm.
You know, what I mean, like everything is tied in, so like the entire world would have to basically collapse.
Like,
you know what I mean?
There is a lot centered around the economy,
Yeah,
but
economic collapses that go up and down.
yeah, exactly. That's been proven, and like
There's economies that are bad.
yeah,
But
and same with
get through
like pandemics. There's always there's pandemics every what do they say every 50 years?
Something like that.
It's just bound to happen. And that's a part of the economy too. Chippy would say. Conspiracy.
Oh.
They got to reset the economy every now and then, so they just a little pandemic
Oh,
here
yeah,
and there.
sprinkle it,
sprinkle a little
little-
pandemic.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's mix a little something.
What do we? What this time? Oh yeah, some bats. Yeah.
Yeah. Release the bats. All right. Speaking of the economy,
the salary
salary
cap,
cap.
the economy.
salary cap up 5.5 mil, which is
You
enough.
didn't say who you thought was going to win the Conn Smythe. I'm
Yeah,
trying to-
I'd say Barkov.
Okay, you did say Barkov.
If Panthers win the cup, it's Barkov. Yeah.
Okay, so that's yours. I'm picking Barkov as well.
Yeah.
I feel like Chippy would go McDavid,
Yeah.
but we can't speak for him.
No.
He's going to be here on Thursday. We're going to do another episode. Okay, yeah. So the salary cap went up from what 82.5 or whatever it was
88.
to 88.
Respectable. That's good. Yep.
Yeah, Bettman's flexing his muscles. He's like, look at us. We're making so much money. You guys can spend more money now. So do you think that solves all the Leafs' problems?
Absolutely. Yep. They're just going to give what? So Marner's going to get 14.5 a year now.
No, man, it went up $5 million. Now he can make 15.5.
15 and a half. 15 and a half per season for 8 years. Lock him in.
Oh my gosh, no. I'm on the firmly on the train that the Leafs need to shake up the roster in addition to what they've done already with the coaching changes and
Yeah.
the GM and everything.
Yeah.
We can't run it back again.
No.
It's just not going to happen. It's not going to work.
Marner's pretty soft. I put him as like a Nugent Hopkins type of player. You know what I mean? Like,
With a bit more playmaking ability.
yeah.
Like I'd say he's like a Nugent Hopkins 2.0.
Like he's easy to
So
put.
he got the latest firmware update, and he's got a bit better of a processor in him. And
He's a skilled player, but if he goes to a different team, do you think he's going to be superstar status or not?
I mean, if you go to a team like Arizona, maybe him and Clayton Keller, or I guess not Arizona, Utah. Oh wait, here we go. Marner can go to Utah, our new second.
Then I have to cheer for Marner.
Yeah, exactly.
Never
That's
lose
what I
him.
was thinking. No, so here's what I think the Leafs should do. I don't know if they could pull it off. I don't think it'll happen because the longer the season goes on, the harder it is to make it happen. But I think they should start the season with Marner.
Yeah.
On the team. He signed for one more year.
Yep.
The more that he waits, the more pressure that's gonna be on him to perform because it's a contract year.
He does have a no move.
Yeah, he can basically choose where he wants to go if they want to trade him.
Yeah. So he doesn't have to go.
They could say like the only way they can strong arm is and say, look, like we're gonna barely play you.
Yeah.
It's going to be miserable. We're going to tell everyone that we want you gone.
Yep.
We want to trade you, and if you're staying here, it's going to be all on you to perform.
Right.
To get a deal somewhere else.
Oh, and I forgot to say, I kind of got on to the topic. I'm so sick of the media surrounding Marner. All these stupid trades that keep coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Marner trade. And then, no, he's not traded. There's all these trade predictions. Here's the 5 trades that make sense for Mitch. Just stop posting that stuff. It's garbage. You don't know anything. You have no idea where he's going to go or who. Like, they're just making up.
For all you know, it could be leaked by Darren Ferris, his agent.
But I'm saying, like, people are making, like, mock trades. I
Yeah.
hate that stuff. It's
You
just such
do?
a waste of my time.
I think it's fun.
You
I
do?
like to think about it. But like the thing is, I don't like if I see an article like that, I'll read it, but then I don't draw too much from it other than like, okay, so that's what the people that know more than me think that they could get in return.
Right. I guess.
Then I start imagining my own possibilities of what I would want to do.
I guess if it's from a reputable source, sure, it's fun to read. But if it's from like Hockey Feed,
Yeah, no, you don't. I don't really. Yeah, I don't follow any of that.
Well, not. It just gets recommended to
Like
me.
The Athletic is basically the only place I'll read an article.
You're like on Instagram, and then you go to search for something, and it pops up there. Oh, trade proposal. You click on it, it's like Puck Media or some weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
the only thing you can trust from Instagram or X or whatever you want to call it is if you're scrolling and you see the same thing reported about 18 times.
Yeah, okay.
And it's from all the different outlets, then you're like, okay, that actually happened. It's reported. It's not just an idea. But like if you're reading an article, I'm only reading it from a couple reputable
Right.
sources.
I guess the thing you can take away is those are the players that are kind of on the chopping block with other teams. You hear some possibilities.
Yeah, because they'll be like someone from Carolina, just throwing that out there, not saying that. I mean, it is a possibility.
Svetch for Marner.
Someone from Carolina knows the inner workings of that team. They followed it for years.
Yep.
They know what players they're looking to move off of, and they can formulate trades that way.
Yep.
The problem with that is that it always ends up being more one-sided than what it'll end up being.
Oh, it's
Because like someone
it's
from
Leafs fans writing it, and what's actually going
or
to
at least
happen.
or the other way, like Carolina.
I see.
You know, like whoever's writing it is always a little biased towards one side.
Yeah, and what'll end up happening is he'll go to Vegas for like a 2nd-round draft pick. Like honestly,
Oh my
that'll
gosh.
probably what will end up happening.
No.
And then we'll be like, what? And well, we got the cap space. We got cap space now.
We're weaponizing our cap space now.
We got 15 million in cap space now.
That's why I don't like. So I think what the Leafs should do. I was kind of getting through to this thought I had on the way to work the other day. I think that they should start the season with Marner on the roster. He's signed through this year. They don't have to trade him till the trade deadline if they don't want to. The problem is if they don't trade him before then basically he can walk if they don't sign him. He's got a lot of leverage once they pass the trade deadline. So the longer it goes, the more it gets close to that deadline, the more he knows, okay, I'm gonna get paid by someone if he's performing. But I think they should start the season. Marner historically doesn't really start off that hot. If he did, it doesn't matter. You start the season, and if he starts out hot, then you just build trade value. If he starts out cold, then you have negotiation value to sign him to an actual reasonable deal.
When I met him, he did say he doesn't have Instagram or TikTok, which
He
is
says that all the time, but his family's telling him like it
I
doesn't
know,
matter.
but like,
It's like I don't have Instagram or TikTok, but my wife, my dad, my mom, they all send me everything.
But he won't see it as much, at least, because basically everything is like, oh yeah, Marner's got to go. We hate him, and we can't wait to get rid of him. Right? So imagine your whole summer, and that's all you see on you're scrolling. Oh, Marner trade. It's like, geez, no one wants me around here, eh? It's gotta be a bad feeling.
Yeah, but
So,
like,
do you think he's gonna play well if that's kind of like, oh, no one in the city wants me anyways?
well, everyone treats them. They treat them like kings, so they're heroes, like superheroes. Right?
You're a superhero or a supervillain, depending on if on one play, right?
No, it would be harder to play knowing that people think that you should be traded.
But can Berube turn him into a killer? Just make him into some like he comes out and he's just got this edge on him, and then everyone like turns to his favor. Let's keep him. We'll just wait one more year until Tavares' contract expires, and then we can, get like Easton Cowan and these guys.
I think that's a fallacy. Like that won't happen. Like
He's not gonna.
a good example of coaches not being able to change players is Alex Ovechkin.
Line A.
Liney's a good example too, but he hasn't been successful.
Right. Yeah. Well, no. Ovi was an absolute just machine, scoring, offensive, just crazy. And then who was it? Was it Boudreaux that tried to turn him? Oh, you have to play defensive. You have to play defensive. His goal scoring.
I thought it was Trotz.
Was it? Oh, it's Trotz. Yeah.
It was Barry Trotz, and he
Barry. Yeah.
was telling him you got to play defense if you want to win games.
Yeah.
Right. But Ovi was like, well, what? Not if we score more goals.
Yeah. What is back check? What is back check?
And like, to be fair, Ovi's defensive game has always been pretty much the same. Like he doesn't really defend.
No, he doesn't need to. Like I watched a couple Caps games live, and then I just did the player tracker. Like I'm just gonna look at Ovi and what he does out there because the camera follows the puck. So I'm following Ovi. He basically stands up and coasts around until the puck starts to come to him, and then he starts go 100%.
That's why you can have a 2-minute shift.
Yes,
But like I have noticed in recent years, he does back check a bit more.
He's got more responsible.
Like he comes back, he back checks, but he really only turns it on full blast when he's on offense.
Yep.
And that's kind of always how he's been. But that's what I was saying is that the coach didn't get through to him to play defense. He's like, I know what works for me. I'm playing my way.
I think he tried, but then his goal scoring went down. He says, I hate this. I'm not. Why am I playing this? Like, why am I playing?
Yeah, well,
defense?
and then they traded Trotz, like they changed coaches and like
And his goal scoring went back up to 50 a season.
yeah, exactly. So it's a perfect example of once a player reaches a certain age, it's kind of like you've developed what works for you, and you need to find a team that works with that style.
Yeah.
And like if he can go on a team like I don't know, like a team that has some firepower on up the middle, like basically a team that's like the Leafs but isn't the Leafs because it's just not working.
Right.
Like a team that already has some firepower and he can just like tee everything up for all the other players. Like a team like Vegas, like you said.
Vegas or Florida, like some tough teams to play against, and he can just be like, yeah, set guys up.
Yeah, like I don't know who actually like really needs a guy like
Boston.
Marner.
Boston.
Oh my god.
Imagine you went to Boston.
Jeez.
Ah,
That would be torture for like they would have to get
that'd be amazing.
in order for Leafs fans to not be like miserable about that, it would have to be like Marner for pasta and the Leafs give something else in return. So at least you're getting it's
Right.
like you eliminated one demon to replace it with like just some like weird vibes,
Could you imagine though, like Marner goes to Boston and then leaves Boston first round?
They would never trade
And-
Pasternak for
No,
Marner
they
in,
wouldn't.
in
No, they
any
wouldn't.
way, shape, or form,
No.
unless it involved Matthews. That's the only way Boston would ever
I'm
do
saying
that.
if there's a trade, it's not going to be like Leafs aren't going to get something crazy.
No, it's got it. The only way they can't really win the trade. They're not going to get some big name. It'll be a package of players that they
Yeah.
need to round out the roster, and hopefully it ends up equaling less than what Marner would make.
It'll be an okay forward and an okay defense. You know what I mean? And a pick or something.
Yeah,
It's not going to be a big
I think
name.
they should be aiming for a great defenseman.
I think they should too. I think that'd be great.
And
That'd
they
be
will.
amazing.
They're not going to trade him for an okay defenseman and an okay forward.
I
They
hope
got to
not.
get one great player.
Yeah, I think they get a great defenseman.
But it's going to be a young guy that hasn't been fully proven yet, and there's some
Perfect.
upside.
Yeah.
That's the only way that they can come close to being like, okay, they tied this trade, and maybe it turns into the trade like the Huberdeau to Chuck
Oh yeah.
deal
Yeah.
that True Living did,
But-
where it didn't work out at all for him, but it worked out the other side. Maybe he can flip the script and be on the other side of that deal.
So imagine he goes to Boston and then first round he gets like 10 points and just puts the Leafs out.
No, he gets 10 points and Boston loses in the first round.
Oh, no, he just because everyone complains that he doesn't do anything in the playoffs.
He lays a hit on Matthews,
Yeah,
steals the puck off him, sets up past a back door for a tap in,
six
seal the deal.
6 goals, 6 assists.
No, he's not going to Boston.
That'd be
Like,
great, but that'd
I'd be
awesome.
surprised if it goes in the same division because there's so much like strength in their division that they're not gonna trade within the division because
Yeah.
all those teams aren't looking to like reshape their rosters. They're like, it's already working, dude.
Yeah.
We don't have the issue where we can't win in the first round. Like we can't play in the playoffs.
Yeah,
We just need to keep getting there, and eventually it'll work for us.
yeah, that's what the Leafs keep thinking.
Yeah.
Let's just keep getting to that first round.
Will you be surprised if the Leafs don't trade Marner at some point before like
Not really.
Christmas?
It's the same thing that's happened every other year. So like they just don't do anything. So I
But-
wouldn't be surprised at all.
would you be surprised if they signed Marner before the end of like the year, before Christmas? Like so, like within a few months of the season starting.
No.
If they signed him, would you be surprised?
No. It's just what they do. They just keep the core four
What if
and keep giving him more money.
there's been no rumor of any signing or trades, and it comes into the new year, and nothing has been said about it? Would you be surprised then?
Yeah. Like, yes.
So that would be the only surprising outcome. So what we're really saying is no one really knows what's going to happen.
No, it's the Leafs just keep holding on to the same players. So it wouldn't surprise me if they continued that and hoped Berube is the answer.
Fire Shanahan
yeah.
to the moon if they do that. Like they need to shake it up. Like it's not even anything against Marner or any of the players. It's just that that group can't work if they're all getting paid what they are. Like look at Tampa, look at Boston. Like all of their best players are making like $2 or $3 million less than what the Leafs player. Each of the Leafs players are. Not even just one of them. Each of them are making $2 million more. Chuck, he just signed a deal with. What's he got? 10 million?
I think, I don't know. Like Rantanen, like not making like as much as Marner and performing a lot better in the playoffs.
Yeah, Rantanen's a good comparable actually. Like a second or third best player on a team that doesn't put up a ton of goals, but or like he puts up a lot of goals, but it's not like the same level as McKinnon or Matthews.
And
or
Boston all took team friendly. He's like Pasta is just he was making like $6 million. And he's like give me like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
What's he at now?
Pasternak?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he took like he's making like 9 something, like 9.5.
Yeah. And like the thing that's annoying is the contract negotiations when like with Nylander and Marner where they're like, oh, we want to get paid top, we want to get paid like I hate that. Like
yeah. So what if
I don't know
if Marner came to the Leafs to the table to start the season or just before training camp and said, I'll sign the same deal that I'm on for another 3 years.
Sure.
I want to be up at the same time as Matthews.
Actually, I don't know. I wouldn't really.
Would he do that? I don't think he would do that because
he's absolutely not.
I feel like
it's inconceivable to think that he like, and it's not. I don't think it's even him. It's his dad
and his agent.
Paul Marner wants to make the most,
and his agent.
Yeah, and his agent. Yeah,
but like,
which makes sense. Like that's their job.
I think that Marner saying like, "Oh, I don't like get involved with that too much. Like I don't go on social media. I'm just like I leave that like that's what my agent's for. I just focus on playing hockey." I think that is where things have fallen apart for him. Because imagine he's like, I want to play in my hometown, and like he
would win over the fans.
You know, like you'd have an agent. It's like I want to play. Like tell the agent I want to play here. Yeah. And like, but the agent's not going to suggest like, well, if you take less, you for sure will.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, okay, well, I'll do that, and I'll get you the most money because that's my job. But if Marner's like, no, like stop all this nonsense. I'm tired of this like noise.
Exactly.
Like if he actually got on social media and felt that like humility.
Yes.
Then he'd be like, I want this to end.
You would win over.
I want to win over the fans.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to them and say, like, look, I'll take like a little bit of a raise from my last deal. Yeah. Sign me long term. I want to be here. They would everyone would be happy.
Yeah.
And then they'd still have to trade someone else.
If you come out,
it's still too much money tied up in their top players. I guess when Tavares' deal comes up, they'd be fine.
That's what I'm hoping. The salary cap went up.
So are they just firing this next season into the moon because they can't do anything while Tavares is here and they can't trade him?
Well, it doesn't matter. They
I guess
who knows? Maybe this year something clicks and they all, they're bottom guys. They got younger guys coming up like Easton Cowan and Fraser Minton and Robertson.
I don't know if Minton's going to crack.
Matt Nyes. No, I'm just saying there's a lot of young talent.
Nyes proved himself, and Cowan could be could crack the roster. Maybe
Bertuzzi and Domi played well, but might play even better next season now that they've like gelled with the guys, got some more chemistry, that type of thing. So,
well, are they? If they want to have Bertuzzi and Domi, that's basically the salary cap right there.
Yeah, fair.
Like they don't have either of them. And I feel like Domi wants to stay, so they'll probably try and sign him.
Yeah,
but Bertuzzi's gonna get more somewhere else.
Oh, you think so? Yeah.
Well, because the Leafs, like, unless the Leafs want to use up all of the salary cap that just went up to pay those two.
Yeah, fair.
To give them raises.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, Domi probably won't need a raise, but, like, Bertuzzi is going to want a long-term deal. because he's just keeps signing 1-year deals. He wants a long term
Yeah,
somewhere.
he wants to get paid.
I would like it if the Leafs paid him,
Hmm.
but I don't know if they pay him, it basically means Marner has to go.
Gotcha.
Marner has to be traded because
You know what?
they won't have enough room.
I would take a couple more guys like Domi and Bertuzzi over one Marner.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me 2 more Bertuzzi, Domi type players over one Marner guy. Because
like you want to get someone else other than like you want to let Domi and Bertuzzi walk.
no. Keep Bertuzzi, keep Domi, ditch Marner, and then add 2 more guys like Bertuzzi and Domi.
Oh, what I'm saying is in order to fill all the gaps they have in their roster,
Yeah.
because they have a lot,
Yeah.
like especially on right D, and I think, like the left wing slot or whatever, like with Domi and Bertuzzi. So if they sign Bertuzzi and Domi and trade Marner, then basically that leaves, like I'm just rough estimate here, that leaves them with enough where they can actually not be like pigeonholed into no options like they have been forever.
Yeah.
They don't have enough to go and add 2 more players like Domi.
I'm looking for more heart on the team.
Right.
More.
They might be able to. They could sign Bertuzzi, Domi, trade Marner for some assets that come back that are like some young players that don't make a ton of money.
Give me a Logan Stankoven.
But they're not.
Right?
Yeah, but they're not
Give
going
me
to
a
be.
Stankoven.
They're not going to be established as a NHLer yet.
No, but
It's taking a gamble.
just find the guys that just care. Find the guys that grind out there. Find
Right.
the guys that play big hockey.
Trades for Stankoven.
Yep.
Would you trade Marner for Stankoven straight up?
I don't know. Well,
Would Dallas?
sure. I mean, because you get the salary cap, you get a good player.
Yeah. Would
Like-
you? I don't know. Like I feel like just to get a change up and like some optimism and like
Yeah.
Stankoven's looked really good. To be fair though, I think that it would be a lot for Stankoven to come into Toronto. Like Dallas has done a good job of nurturing him,
Well,
and it would be a lot of pressure for him to play in Toronto.
yes, I think that Marner is kind of sick of the city now. So you got to send him out because he's like kind of fed up with the media.
Yeah.
And you find 2 people who just really want to win a cup in Toronto.
Mm.
And that's like Domi is that type of player, and Bertuzzi is like a playoff. Like he doesn't mind the pressure.
Yeah.
So you find 2 guys that don't mind the pressure, bring them in, versus one guy who's like, I'm kind of sick of these.
Here's a hot take. Fire Marner into the moon to get 2 or 3 young players
Mhm.
and that don't make a lot of money. If they make the lineup, whatever. Use the cap space to just pay internally, fill out the roster. Basically just buy yourself another, like, who cares about this year? I know it's like Matthews only has so much time and like you have to go for it when you can. I don't think they're winning a cup with Tavares on making what he makes. I just don't think they can do it, especially not with Marner on the team. If they do that, then they can wait and see, okay, who's playing really well on other teams? Let's shape things as the year unfolds. Who do we need on our team? How is the actual team going? Because when is the last time the Leafs have just put a team on the ice where it's not like everyone is expected to be insane? Aside from like some of the like third pair defensemen, like the expectations are always so high. There's no opportunity for everyone to come and perform.
Yeah.
Like the McLeods and the Holloways of the Oilers to come through and score in the playoffs because they have the opportunity to play like on the team when they really haven't been like that popular names before. Like who's had that opportunity? Like Stankoven.
Yeah.
Like the Leafs that'd be like putting Easton Cowan in, but waiting an actual couple years before putting him in.
Yeah.
Whereas they're probably going to put him in next year and everyone's going to expect him to do great things.
Yeah.
Just like Fraser Minton. And then he's not going to be able to because it's the show and they're still young.
I'd say like that's like Robertson.
Yeah. Rick Robertson's he's gotten injured a lot, but
yeah. But he
like,
had like flash of brilliance and everyone's like, oh yeah, like we're really counting on him. We're counting on him. We need him to be like a star.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'd trade Marner and Robertson for Stankoven and like a pick at the draft.
Miro Heiskanen.
Yeah, I'd do that. Yeah. Not biased at
All
all.
right, let's get rid of it. Let's get off of these crazy trade topics.
Oh yeah,
What else we
I
got?
forgot you don't like that. Yeah.
No, all the prediction stuff. It's just
Yeah.
it's too much. Just don't post anything again until something happens, please.
Right.
Stop wasting my time.
Yeah, it'll be like that all year, dude.
I know.
like all of June is gonna be all Marner talk as soon as the cup's done. but like maybe you'll just turn your phone off. You won't look.
That's pretty much it. I just swipe away.
Yeah.
Swipe away. Just won't look at it.
Yeah. So after the final tonight when Florida wins. Oh, sorry, I gave away the script. I didn't.
Oh, you got the script? You're getting the script?
Yeah,
still?
I got the script. Yeah.
I hate that. Sports events are not scripted, okay, people? It's like that's the. It's become like a meme now. Everyone's like, "Oh, the script."
Rocky rant. Here we go.
I see it in football and like, "Oh, this is scripted." It's all, and then people are like agreeing with them. Do people actually believe that? They're like, I guess
I think it's just fun to.
some people say it in a fun way, but then there's like that's what I first thought when people were talking about the Earth being flat. Like, oh yeah, they're taking the piss, having a little fun.
Yeah.
No, now people believe the Earth is flat, right? And there are definitely people who think that every live sports event is scripted, and there people are writing it.
It's tough when there's like the thing that they're believing is scripted. It's impossible to prove either side. Like it's a sport game. Like there's no.
It's easy to prove it after the fact.
You can write a narrative after.
Yes, you'll look for things that support your point of view.
Hypothesis, yeah.
And only cherry pick things that support what you believe.
Yeah.
And then you can prove yourself right.
Exactly, yeah.
It's scripted.
And your brain wants to believe what it already thinks is true.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it works. I just noticed we're kind of matching today.
Oh, it's a blue.
I was going to wear my Puck Daddy hat too, but
blue.
We got navy shorts and a blue shirt, just a different shade.
Blue type of day.
Yeah. So after the cup's awarded tonight, I said it again. Dang it. What are your plans for the summer besides creating some magical hockey training videos and releasing a product, you said, or something like that?
Yeah, well, I'm getting started on the product, to be honest. If things go well, it'll get released at Christmas time. Right. I just have to start moving towards it because I've had this product idea for like a couple years.
You're speaking it into existence now.
Yeah.
And everyone, when it launches, you'll be the first to know. Whatever this it is. Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
I wanted to actually talk a little bit about we had an idea the other day of doing like a hockey specific challenge more geared towards kids.
Yeah.
A while back I did a challenge called 75 Hard.
Mm-hmm.
My future brother-in-law, he did it and introduced me to it. And it was a good study of patience and dedication. Discipline. Basically, you have a list of things you have to do every day. And if you don't do it, then you start the challenge over and it goes for 75 days. We were trying to think of a similar challenge for kids to do that are trying to get better at hockey. And I thought we should share that as a potential idea. Let us know in the comments if what was the 5 pillars that you had to do every day, things you had to check off. Do you remember?
Yeah, well, in general.
We haven't finalized it, but this was the idea.
Some ideas we're throwing around is like do some skill training, do some physical activity, right? So it's basically like,
well, the way that I phrased it was 100 shots.
100 shots. That is simple, but I thought we could make it more general. 100 shots probably is a good one because it's. I think with kids you got to be more specific.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you have to have it has to have a goal. Like it has to have an end.
And I think if it ties in with the 10,000 shots app, that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be good. Right. So 100 shots.
100 shots each day.
You have to do some form of bettering yourself, whether it be physical or mental training.
Something like learn something.
Yeah. Learn or practice something.
Yeah. Practice something. Yeah.
Improve yourself, and like for different families, different things will apply. Like it could be do your homework.
Could
it's
be
like the way that I think you should
piano.
do it is like spend half an hour improving yourself.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Like that'd be the simplest wording that you could do for it. Then another one was do a small act of kindness.
Yep. I like that. And no TV.
Oh, wasn't it? Oh, we were going to do.
You have to earn your screen time.
Yeah. So for every minute that you do of like these like training and shooting pucks and all that stuff, it equals the amount of screen time you're allowed.
Yep. And I brought that up to Mason and he hated the idea. He said, that's terrible. No, I would never do that.
You forgot the part where you say, if you do this challenge at the end of the summer, you get a PlayStation.
You know what I think the easiest? You just put in the challenge, no screen time. It's like, forget screen time. You kids don't need it. And we did no screen time with the kids. We tried to do it for
probably be better for them over long term. Yeah.
Long term, because like break the cycle, man.
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts or whatever, like any sort of like that. It's just mind-numbing activity for the kids. And it's like, why are they even watching? Like, do they have straight A's in school? No. Well, they shouldn't be watching TV.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Is a room clean? No. Shouldn't be watching TV.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Just sitting here looking at a screen? There's things.
Just like our last episode, kids don't go through enough stress
Ah,
nowadays.
But man, I mean, it is tough because like my kids will be watching TV and I'll ask them, I'm like, is your room clean? No. Turn it off. Go do something better.
Do they?
Uh,
Without you intervening?
Initially, it was a struggle, but now basically when I say TV's off, Mason grabs it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Progress.
And they are not on iPads like at all because we have passwords on the iPads that they don't know.
Right.
So they have to bring it to us and we have to turn it on.
Mm.
So like they just don't try anymore.
Right.
Right?
One idea I just had for the challenge, because I know it is hard for parents to get their kids to understand the concept of doing something day in, day out for a finite period of time. Like, even if you tell them the week, if the kid's young enough, it's going to feel like forever.
Yeah.
But you can have basically every day that you do the challenge, you get like a little star or something. And then when you get 15 of them, you get a reward or something.
It has to be like a week-long challenge, not like a month-long challenge.
A week-long challenge is doable, I think, for a lot of kids. But what I was saying is like they're working towards a goal of getting that many stars or whatever.
Yep.
And then when they're done, they get their thing. And you could set the challenge for 10 stars, 7 stars, 30 stars. And like, depending on how big the reward is, you know, it could be like you do this for three stars and you get this, 7 stars, you get that, you know, like.
I kind of like that. You do a challenge because obviously the parents are going to have to be involved in this.
Yeah.
Kids are not going to be like, wow, I really love self-improvement.
I know,
and
they're not
discipline."
self-motivated.
No, like,
extrinsic motivation is needed.
hey, kids.
For a lot of kids, not everyone, but
some kids out there are insane. They're
yeah,
just like animals, and they would eat that up,
mm-hmm.
right? But those are the ones that become great.
On their own, yeah.
No, to be honest, they're just the ones that become great.
Yeah.
It's because they just have that. They're
got that
they're
dog
built
in them.
different.
Yeah.
Right? No parent.
They ground their own oatmeal and
like
slept on a bed of nails.
There's probably people out there that are doctors or lawyers because their parents like force them to study and this and that, but they don't like it. You know what I mean? They're like,
right.
I'm just doing this to please.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are in that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like super successful, but they're like, oh, like I don't enjoy my life because I didn't get to follow my own path.
Yeah.
I did what my parents told me to do. And it's like, sure, I mean, maybe they do enjoy it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Right.
I don't know. But I feel that that's kind of like a narrative. You know
For
what I mean?
sure, yeah.
They didn't go after their own path. Or like they drop out of law school to become a painter.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they're just doing it for their parents.
Yeah, every parent wants them to drop out of law school and become a painter.
No, they went into law school.
I'm joking.
You're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So for this, it would be great if there was. It's parent driven. We'll say if you can do it for 7 days straight, you get this. If you can do it for 2 weeks straight, here. If you do it for the full month, it's like some top level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like at the end of those 7 days, you can be like, do you want to keep going? Because like if you keep going, you can get this many.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like a tiered. It's like, and if they want to cash out early, it's
Exactly. You want to keep
it
it or risk it. Keep it or risk it.
It teaches them a little bit about like how you invest your time.
Yeah.
You know, like if you put in 7 days already, do you really want to put all that work behind you for like a bag of candy? Or do you want to keep going so you can go on a trip with your friend? Like to like a hockey camp or like whatever they find the most fun, you know?
I'm trying to instill that with Mason because Olivia, she's good. It's like you tell her this is healthy, this isn't healthy. She's like, oh, I'm going to eat the healthy food. Thanks, Dad.
Right.
Oh, I won't eat too much of that because it's not healthy. Mason? No. He's just trying to sneak the sugary stuff.
Yeah.
Any chance he gets. He'll bring like Quench to school and trade it for fruit roll-ups and
oh my gosh,
stuff, right? Like if we say you can't have chocolate bars here, he's like trying to.
I got to lock up. You got to get a lock on my desk for me.
Yeah, so he doesn't sneak.
He's gonna start pawning off my granola bars.
Anyway, so I'm trying to show Mason the powers of compounding interest, both negative and positive. Look, Mason, he wants a 6-pack.
Right.
So, okay, Mason, if you run, if you do some cardio, right? Go for a run every day, and do some sit-ups every day. You won't get a six-pack tomorrow, but if you do that every day, after a few months, you probably have a six-pack. You look pretty good. If you eat an extra chocolate bar every day, it doesn't matter today, and it doesn't matter tomorrow. But when you're a teenager, you might look like this. I'm showing pictures of like overweight people, and I was like, what you do each day adds up over time.
Yeah.
Right. So, and if you don't brush your teeth might look like this. I'm showing them pictures on Google Images.
Yeah.
Of like people with like rotten out teeth, right?
That guy eat a lot of root beer.
So look, I'm like, you cannot brush your teeth because he's like, hey, did you brush your teeth? Yep. He lies.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me.
Let
about
me
that.
check. I'm checking.
When we did the sty no sty
Yeah.
about washing your hands, like pretending to wash your hands.
Yeah. Let me smell your hands.
Yeah.
So, for whatever reason, I don't know. So
Defiance
yes. So I'm showing them like
and impulse. As well.
this is what I think it's impulse. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this is what your teeth could look like when you're 30 because you haven't brushed them for that long, right? Like you need to do it every single day.
Yeah.
And I'm showing pictures of people with great teeth.
Right.
They're probably, to be honest, have like veneers,
Yeah.
porcelain veneers. I'm showing pictures of
But it's
porcelain
to make a point.
Yeah, I'm like, this is what your teeth can look like.
What, you didn't just say this is what your teeth could look like if you brush every day? You didn't point to your
I
own?
didn't point to my own. No. I brushed every day, but yeah, I'm trying to paint a very clear picture.
Yes. No, that's understandable for sure.
Anyways, it's showing like, so setting good habits when they're young.
Yeah.
That's what this challenge could do.
Yeah.
Help the kids
It's
set
a good
healthy habits.
it's a good like summer thing, I think,
Mhm.
as well. Because like a lot of times kids, it comes to summertime and it's like all of a sudden it's no rules.
Yeah.
You know, whereas it's like it's a good example of setting that like just because you can do what you want today doesn't mean that you shouldn't choose to do something that's good for you.
Let's just do a summer checklist where it's like learn something, practice something, take 100 shots.
Well, I think
right?
I think making it hockey is like the best way
Yeah.
because like that's the
yeah.
audience that we have. But I think if you guys have any ideas for what we should call this challenge, because that's where we kind of were stumped. Like there's obvious ones like just the 30-day hockey challenge, you know,
Yeah.
like just like very generic, but like
Yeah.
we want something more creative, tailored to kind of like Jeremy's brand, like how to hockey would be good too. But
It could be also just like the summer checklist, like the hockey player checklist or something.
mhm.
Hockey players were teaching skills, but also
I think
off the.
I think phrasing it as a challenge is necessary though, because then it's like it implies
Yes.
like reward and like
It's a challenge, but I was just thinking, other idea, instead of like trying to do it for 7 days,
right.
you give them a checklist, you give them the whole summer, they do a check every time they've done it. How many can you do? Like how many days can you get?
Right.
Right. So okay, there's how's the Phineas and Ferb song go? 130 days of summer.
I don't even know.
No?
I do remember that show, but I didn't watch it enough to know the theme song. Like I didn't have cable or anything.
Well, yeah. Then we would know how many days of summer there are. There's 104 days of summer vacation, and school comes along just to. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like
Right.
104 days of summer.
Right.
Right. How many days can you successfully complete this challenge? Some kids might go all 104. Some kids just did it 10 times. Some kids did it 70. Some kids did it 80.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of a cool way to do it.
Yeah. I think it's a big part of it that would actually have an impact on like changing a kid's habits.
Yep.
Is the doing it how many days in a row?
In a row. Yeah. The streaks.
Because
Yeah.
what will happen is initially they're doing it, say it's like a week, 7 days. They're doing it because they see the light at the end of the tunnel. They want that reward.
Yeah.
But then if you give them the option of like, or you can keep going and here's the next reward you could get if you do 15 days,
Yeah.
you know? And by the time that 15 days up, they say it takes 2 weeks to set a habit. 2 weeks for a kid probably feels like 2 months for an adult.
Yeah.
So like by the time that happens, they're probably already like, this is just automatic. This is what I do now. And they'll want to keep doing it.
I'll
It's
tell
my
you,
theory.
When it came to screen time, we just told them like no TV.
Yeah.
And, like they whined about it for the first day or two, and then after that they just like
Because it becomes the new norm. Like they're used to it by.
it was
quickly.
a few days, and it's like okay, we don't have any screen time
So
anymore.
maybe we got to make it no screen time is the final thing on the list of.
Yeah.
Like, how good of a summer would you have if you had no screen time for 30 days?
Oh, I know, it's great. What I'm talking about, making habits. Sometimes, like, because the parents are like kind of, we just have to break the cycle of like asking for it and like complaining and whining,
Yeah.
right? But I guess doing something like,
I guess you could do like, instead of no screen time at all, it would be like like you can't have any screen time on its own. So it's like if it happens to be on and you're as a family you're doing something else too,
it's fine.
then that's cool. Or it's like you're not just sitting there watching YouTube, you're also doing a puzzle.
Oh,
Or that'd be weird though.
well, and I think the other problem with like a challenge like this and trying to get a streak is that kids are busy. So Mason's going to camp, and then like he's going camping.
It is hard
then
to check it off.
He's going to
every day.
grandma's place.
Yeah.
And then so it's like it's going to be hard to consistently.
It's hard
do
for
this.
the parents to give them the opportunity to even do it every day, depending on the challenge.
Like if he has a routine that he wakes up in the morning and then goes shoots pucks in the garage, well, for a week he won't be in the garage. He'll be away at a sleepaway camp or at his grandparents' place, or like we had a late night, or there's but something we'll work on.
You
We'll,
can
we'll,
all,
we'll end it there. Give us ideas in the comments. Give us some things, maybe parents that you've done with your kids that have been successful, things that you liked.
maybe challenges that you've done with your kids.
Any
You said maybe parents that you've done with your kids. It's confusing for me. But yeah, in the comments.
I might have skipped a few words there.
Oh, okay. I'm just out of it as well.
Yeah.
We'll wrap up the episode there.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you like that idea. And who do you think is if Florida's gonna win the cup tonight? I'm gonna try to get this episode out today. So
Go.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one, everyone.
Later.
Go Panthers. Go Oilers.
Go McDavid.
Gonna change the world with my hockey stick. Gonna make a real difference. Feed the poor and heal the sick.